Good morning, Stingrays. So today in our English lesson, I'm just going to come on and just help you a little bit today because we are going to be using dialogue today, okay? Now I know some of us find it a little bit tricky when we use dialogue to remember where our inverted commas go, what punctuation needs to go before we close our inverted commas, and obviously different vocabulary that we can use, okay? So by the end of next week, so when we are back at school, you will be publishing a third-person narrative, so a retell, on the chapter Alien of Wonder. All right, so you've all managed to read that, hopefully. If not, it is on the website, so have a read through that chapter. So you are writing a third-person narrative, so you are the author. Okay, so you are not Augie or Jack Will or any other character, you are the author. So let's have a look at this bit here then. So you've got the waggle from Monday, and at the end of it, it says, What are you doing there, freak? Bellowed a familiar voice. So again, this is effective because you have got bellowed that has been used instead of said. Okay, oops, there we go. You have got a question mark in there straight away. You've got informal language because you are writing a narrative, and that is probably how they talk. And then you've got language there that is used. Obviously, they've magpied that from the story already. Okay. Now, we don't know who said this because it just says a familiar voice. Now, this is effective, obviously, because Jack has stumbled, leaving Augie exposed, and then somebody yells in Augie's face. So, let's have a look at these then. We've got waggle, so what a good one looks like, or wabble, what a bad one looks like. So you've got here, the dark figures loomed closer, moving swiftly through the trees. Hey, you there, freak, shouted one. His voice was sharp and stern. Turning on his heel, Jack shouted, Augie, this is not good. We gotta go. And then you've got here, the dark figures loomed closer, moving swiftly through the trees. Hey, you there, freak. Augie, this is not good. We gotta go. Now, I don't know who's saying anything in these two pieces of dialogue here. Whereas this one, I know that this is just shouted one, but here, I know that this is Jack shouted. Got a fronted adverbial here as well before Jack speaks, which is fantastic. You've got that informal language there as well, and you've got that magpied language. Again, his voice was sharp and stern. That's very effective because that puts an image into the reader's mind how nastily somebody had said something. Okay, so I want you now then to, why are the sentences you chose waggles, and what effect do the waggles have on readers? Okay, so I hope that you agree with me that this is the waggle, all right? So I want you to explain why you chose those as waggles and what effect does it have on waggles. Sorry, what effect does it have on the readers? Now today, you are going to be writing your first section of your narrative using dialogue where needed. Okay, so we're going to do this together today, and I will highlight some words that you can change and you can magpie the beginning of this, because obviously next week when we are back in school we will need to come back to this because obviously it's part of your publish. Okay, so I'm going to insert a new page and I'm going to type my beginning part of my narrative. Okay, so when I will talk it through with you, and then when I get to the end I will highlight some words that you can change yourself. Right then, so I'm going to use what we had on Monday. So the trip to the camp was nearing its end. Jack and Augie, so remember you are writing as the author, not as if you are a character. Jack and Augie were just about to head back from the forest, but to their surprise, there were three towering figures coming towards them. Oops. It seemed as, oh dear me, it seemed as if they must have been charging at the speed of light. Augie gave Jack a look of desperation. Desperation. As the shadows edged closer. When the figures reached the boys, Jack stumbled back, leaving Augie exposed. Okay, so that was the waggle from the beginning of this week. So I'm now adding in a bright flashlight. So that's our torch. Obviously, with this is American, we try to use some of their sayings so it fits in. So a bright flashlight was, I'm going to use a passive voice now, was shone right in Augie's face by an unknown outline. Okay, now this is where I'm going to include my speech. So, new speaker, new line, open inverted commas. What is that? Question mark. Close my inverted commas because I've finished my speaking. However, I now need to say who has said it. So, the mysterious voice shouted as it moved closer to Augie. Now I'm doing a bit of splice dialogue here as well, so I'm also adding in he'll look at it. Okay, so here I've got my open inverted commas. I've said what I need to say. I've got a question, so I need to put that question mark in before I close my inverted commas. So what is that? The mysterious voice shouted as it moved closer to Augie. Ew, look at it. Okay, so that is still part of who is saying that. So the mysterious voice is saying this. I'm now going on to a new speaker. So new speaker, new line. It was at that moment. That Augie soon realized they were talking about him. Okay, new speaker. Oh dear, I don't know where that. Oh, here we go. Don't know what happened there. Let's get out of here, Jack whispered as he slowly got up from his tumble. Comma, because I'm doing splice dialogue again. Open inverted commas, sorry. These guys are bad news. There we go. Okay, so let's have a read of that then. The trip to the camp was nearing its end. Jack and Augie were just about to head back from the forest, but to their surprise, there were three towering figures. I spelled that wrong. This is why it's really important to look back through your work. There are three towering figures coming towards them. It seemed as if they must have been charging at the speed of light. Augie gave Jack a look of desperation as the shadows edged closer. When the figures reached the boys, Jack stumbled back, leaving Augie exposed. A bright flashlight was shone right in Augie's face by an unknown outline. What is that? The mysterious voice shouted as it moved closer to Augie. Ew, look at it! It was at that moment that Augie soon realized they were talking about him. Let's get out of here, Jack whispered as he slowly got up from his tumble. These guys are bad news. Okay, so I'm going to highlight now the words that you can change and you can magpie this opening paragraph for your narrative. Okay, so let's have a look then. But to their surprise, you can change the word surprise. You can change the word towering and figures. And you can change the word desperation. When the figures reached the boys, Jack stumbled back, leaving Augie exposed. A bright flashlight, you can change bright. Was shown right at Augie's face for an unknown outline. Again, you can change unknown and outline. What is that? The mysterious voice shouted. You can change that as it moved close to Augie. Ew, look at it. It was at that moment that Augie soon realised they're talking about him. Let's get out of here, Jack whispered as he slowly got up from his tumble. These guys are bad news. There we go. Okay, so you can magpie that opening paragraph for you today. But obviously, please just change those words that I have highlighted, especially for bronze. Silver and gold, you should be able to complete your own paragraph. Obviously, you may want to magpie some sentences out of that. Absolutely fine. But please remember to send in your work, okay? Try to use dialogue today. That's your learning outcome, is to use dialogue effectively. So have a super day, and don't forget, send in your work. We're really looking forward to reading it. And if you are stuck or you need any help or support, please let us know. Speak to you all soon. Bye.